Welcome to the first Gevo review in 2021. The end of the 2020 was fascinating for Gevo's investors and traders. Although Gevo is still consolidating, the future, my friends, looks promising. Welcome back for another Gevo technical analysis update. This is Dr. B on Webull, and I will be updating the chart of Gevo and explain what to expect this week. Before we start, I would like to mention that we just had a baby, and over the last week, taking care of the baby and his mama was my priority. So in the meantime, however, the Technically Analyzed family was very active on the Discord server, so do not forget to join the free Discord server for good ideas and trading opportunities. I'm leaving the invitation link in the video description below. My first New Year resolution would be to find a good routine given these changes and be more consistent in developing more technical analysis videos in the future. Thank you all for your understanding and support. So as you also know, I do not ask people to like the video before they actually watch and like its contents. So please do not forget to like and subscribe before you leave if you like or find this video useful at all. Alright, so back to the topic in hand, and where does Gevo stand and where is it heading? On the weekly chart, the RSI is still hot and indicating overbought. Remember, in the whole history of Gevo, the RSI never was at these levels on the weekly chart since 2011. But as we can see, it's starting to curve down, which is good. We want it to cool down and get ready for the next big run. This consolidation is also indicated by the reducing buying pressure in the DMI indicator, but also you can see that the selling pressure is low. The EMAs look great. They are all in order and pointing up. Let's now overlay our charts. As we can see, this is our channel. The weekly price has been respecting it to a great extent. Last week closed above the channel's median line, showing the significant rejection of lower prices, which is excellent. On the daily chart, we can see that the price pulled back and is now below the upper band of the Bollinger Band. It's also below the DC upper line. From the chart, we can see that the range in which we may trade tomorrow is bounded by outer support and resistance trend lines, nicely aligned with the 50% Fibonacci retracement level at 30.63 and the 50% Fibonacci extension level at 5.63. These are all extremes, but doesn't mean that we are actually going to see them tomorrow or the next week. The Bollinger's upper band is aligned with our channel's upper resistance and the 50% extension level, whereas the upper DC line is aligned with the 38.2 extension line. Both the middle line and the band are aligned with the outer support level of our channel and the 50% retracement level. Therefore, a more reasonable range is the 38.2% retracement level at 4.1 and the 38.2% extension level at 5.15. The EMAs look good. They are curved down, reflecting the state of consolidation we are currently in, but they are all still in order, showing a healthy consolidation. The IC indicator looks good. We are above the green cloud. We are respecting the conversion line, which is way above the baseline. The DMI shows that the buying and the selling pressures are converging, but the buying pressure is still higher. The RSI has relatively cooled down, but still in the overbought range. So long term, Gevo still looks very good. Now let's check the hour-based charts to get some sense of what will happen tomorrow and the rest of the week. On the 4-hour chart, we can see that we are just below the middle line in the Dungeon channel and the Bollinger Band's middle band. It's not clear if we will continue to drop to touch the lower bands or push back up and go towards the upper bands. The DMI shows that the buying and the selling pressures are starting to diverge, giving hope for a bounce back up. The RSI has cooled down to 50.5, which is also the case in the 2 and the 1-hour charts. We are also trading above the super trend line, which is good. We're just above the Ichimoku cloud, which has been holding well, but we are below the baseline, which is not nice. The most significant indicator is the set of the EMAs we usually use. The EMAs are dropping. The 5 EMA crossed below the 9 and the 13 and currently at the 20 EMA. The 9 EMA is also at the 13 EMA. So if you look back, we will find that this happens all the time. However, on the 4-hour chart, we didn't have the 5 EMA get that close to the 20 EMA in a while. It usually gets close and then reverses back up, so we will see what's gonna happen. Usually when you have enough selling pressure that takes the EMAs down like that, it continues until the EMAs are completely in a reversed order. Then the 5 EMA starts to curve up and you get a good squeeze, enough to reorder the EMAs again. We don't know if this will happen on the 4-hour chart, but we can see that it has already happened on the 1-hour chart. On the 2-hour chart, the selling pressure took all the EMAs lower than the 50 EMA down, and they are now in a reversed order. However, we closed below the 5 EMA and above the 50 EMA. So the question is, will this reverse now, or is it going to take the EMAs below the 50 EMA too? Unlike the 4-hour chart, we are trading just below the super trend, which acts as a resistance aligned with the 23.6 Fibonacci retracement level and the upper Bollinger Band. But we can also see that we are pushing this level strongly, trying to break above it. We are also trading inside the Ichimoku cloud, which is not ideal, but it's still better than breaking below it. So we have a green cloud, which is nice, but the conversion line is below the baseline. We just bounced off the lower band and line in the Bollinger Band and Donchian channel on the 1 and the 2-hour charts. From the patterns point of view, there are a couple of potential patterns that may be forming. And remember, Gevo takes days and even months to complete a pattern. So the first one is the pennant, and we should be now in our way to break out of it. So this one is not very likely, and I don't particularly appreciate how these gaps did not reach the upper line of the pattern. The second pattern is the one that I shared on Webull on Friday. It was a pattern that I have drawn on the phone really quickly. So this pattern assumes that we have already broken out of the pennant, and now we are retesting the resistance to use it as support. This one looks nice and fits what we are seeing, especially that the level 4.3 has been holding very well over the last 3 days. After looking at other indicators, I'm not really 100% sure or confident about it anymore. So if the 4.3 does not hold anymore, we may form the third pattern, which is the bull flag. This suggests that we will drop to the high 3s before we bounce back up, which will align perfectly with the Bollinger Band's median band on the daily chart and the outer resistance of our chart, in which case you load up like there is no tomorrow. So what levels should we look for tomorrow and for the rest of this week? Well, it could retest the 38.2% retracement level at 4.1. This level is very close to our channel's inner support, the lower line of the Donchian channel, the lower band of the Bollinger Band, the lead one of the Ichimoku cloud, and more importantly, the 50 EMA. So we may see something like a drop to the 4.1 to 4.13 levels, and then rejection and close just above the lead one at 4.25 or so, and then a bounce back up. If the 4.13 price doesn't hold, we might be heading to a strong downtrend to test the 50% at 3.6. Personally, I won't worry if it drops to the 3.6 and bounces back up. I may actually add more. If this is actually the second pattern that I discussed earlier, then we are already heading up, and we can see 5.15 and 5.63 levels. Of course, on our way, we will see resistance at different levels, especially the median of our channel at 4.6. So I will be looking for the break of the 23.6% extension level at the 4.558 and the 23.6% retracement level at 4.7. So for the next week, I know the levels to keep an eye on to decide when to load up more of Gevo. So if you want to see the price moving between these levels, do not forget to subscribe to get notification to join the daily live stream whenever we go live. Also join the lively discussion on our Gevo Discord channel. The invitation link is in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I wish you a great year of gains.